Welcome back to 504 Road Trips. Today we complete our drive on I-10 between New Orleans and the Mississippi state line. Now hurry up and look on the right for the big New Orleans East sign. Now, if you did catch a glimpse of the large concrete sign, it was constructed in 1980, advertising a development that would never come to fruition. During the oil boom of the 1970s, this entire area was planned to be developed. 3 interchanges were built along I-10, spaced 1.5 miles apart, but only the first of the 3 is in use today, indirectly connecting to Michoud Boulevard, which runs parallel to I-10 and I-510. The remaining 2 ghost interchanges only exist as disconnected overpasses now. The ramps were completely removed at some point around 2007. Swampy land and a high water table made development difficult. This area rests on the edge of a fault line, and the land and levees protecting it are sinking at a rate of about 2 inches per year. That, combined with the oil bust in the mid-1980s, ended any plans of development out here. Much of this land later became the Bayou Sauvage National Wildlife Refuge. This 23,000-acre region of fresh and brackish marshes is the largest urban wildlife refuge in the United States. An enormous wading bird rookery can be found in the swamps of the refuge from May until July, while tens of thousands of waterfowl winter in its marshes. The brown pelican is a year-round resident of southeast Louisiana. The number of nesting brown pelicans has substantially increased despite loss of nesting habitat. Brown pelicans are frequent users of the refuge. Several bald eagles, another threatened species, visit the refuge each year. Other wildlife include waterfowl, wading birds, shorebirds, marsh rabbits, white pelicans, alligators, and other raptors, game and small mammals, reptiles, and amphibians. The refuge contains a variety of different habitats, including freshwater and brackish marshes, bottomland hardwood forests, lagoons, canals, borrow pits, cheniers, and natural bayous. The marshes along Lake Pontchartrain and Lake Borgne serve as estuarine nurseries for various fish species, crabs, and shrimp. Freshwater lagoons, bayous, and ponds serve as production areas for largemouth bass, crappie, bluegill, and catfish. The diverse habitats meet the needs of 340 bird species during various seasons of the year. Peak waterfowl populations of 75,000 use the wetland areas during the fall, winter, and early spring months. At exit 254, we see an interchange with US Highway 11 at Irish Bayou as we approach the southern shore of Lake Pontchartrain. Ahead is the new I-10 twin spans, which cross the lake at a length of 5.6 miles. The original twin spans, opened in 1965, were 300 feet to the left and only had a clearance of 8.5 feet above the waters of the lake. During Hurricane Katrina on August 29, 2005, storm surge coming into Lake Pontchartrain shifted 38 bridge segments completely off their piers on the eastbound bridge, with another 170 left misaligned. The westbound span lost 26 segments and 265 were misaligned. Each of the bridges was composed of 433 segments, meaning nearly half of the bridge decking was either missing or no longer lined up with the bridge. This, combined with the loss of a swing bridge on US 90, left US Highway 11 as the only working route across the lake, and that small 2-lane, at the time 77-year-old bridge was not in any way capable of carrying the volume of traffic that normally crossed the lake on I-10. By September 9, 2005, just 2 weeks after Hurricane Katrina, the state accepted a bid of $30.9 million from Bow Brothers Construction Company to reconstruct the bridges. In Phase 1 of the reconstruction, scavenged bridge segments from the westbound span were used to fill the gaps in the eastbound span. On October 10, 2005, the east span was reopened to traffic with 1 lane in each direction. Phase 2 of the project involved repairs to the westbound span. Prefabricated steel bridge spans were used on the westbound bridge in 2 areas to replace destroyed segments. Prefabricated steel bridge spans were used on the westbound bridge in 2 areas to replace destroyed segments and segments used on the eastbound span. The west span reopened on the 6th of January 2006, returning 4 lanes of traffic to flow once again, with speed and weight restrictions. It was decided that the old twin spans were too vulnerable to storm surge and that the long-term solution would be to construct 2 new spans. Ground was broken on July 13, 2006 on this project. The bridge we're on was first opened on July 9, 2009, and the westbound bridge opened on April 7, 2010. On August 1, 2014, the bridges were officially named the Frank Davis Naturally New Orleans Memorial Bridge to honor the WWL-TV news personality who often fished near the bridge. Davis passed away in 2013 after a debilitating illness. These new bridges have a vertical clearance of 30 feet above the water with an 80-foot high-rise near the northern end. We're now on the North Shore and passing between the Eden Isles, Oak Harbor, and Lakeshore area and heading for the city of Slidell. We're in St. Tammany Parish, which had a population of 265,570 as of the 2020 census. At exit 263, we cross Old Spanish Trail and enter the city of Slidell with a population of 28,781 within the city limits. With the advent of the U.S. space program in the 1960s, NASA opened a computer center in Slidell, and with its proximity to the NASA Michoud Assembly Facility in New Orleans East and the John C. Stennis Space Center just over the Mississippi border, the population of Slidell nearly tripled by the mid-1970s, and the city became a major suburb of New Orleans. Today, the National Weather Service office for Baton Rouge and New Orleans is located in Slidell. At exit 266, US Highway 190, we gain a control city of Bay St. Louis on I-10, although I-10 never actually passes through Bay St. Louis. Prior to 1982, I-10 had not yet been constructed through Mississippi, so the route through the state involved taking the first exit out to US 90. Going that way, the first major city is Bay St. Louis, and although I-10 has long been completed in Mississippi, the control city of Bay St. Louis remains. Here we see a junction of 3 two-digit interstates, with I-59 heading north and I-12 heading west and bypassing New Orleans. We continue east on I-10 in the final stretch for the Mississippi state line. There are no more interchanges between here and exit 2 in Mississippi, just a series of bridges that cross various branches of the Pearl River. Here we cross the main channel of the Pearl River, and at the top of the bridge we enter Hancock County, the southernmost county in the state of Mississippi. Hancock County had a population of 46,053 as of the 2020 census. The county is home to the John C. Stennis Space Center, NASA's largest rocket engine test facility, which is to the left off of the next exit. The location of the test facility was chosen because this is a largely unpopulated area, a requirement due to the noise levels of the Apollo rockets. The facility also had to be located between the Michoud Assembly Facility and the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, and barge access was needed, which is provided by the East Pearl River. In a minute, we'll be pulling into the Mississippi Welcome Center, which is the location of the Infinity Science Center at NASA Stennis Space Center, a place where guests can explore our Earth, oceans, and space through deepening levels of involvement, ranging from walks through museum galleries, memorable videos, and live presentations, engaging unique citizen science programs, and occasionally participating in world-class historic events. We conclude our video here. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up, post a comment, subscribe, share and follow us on social media, and join us for our next 504 road trip.